Imagine a horse you can ride that never needs hay, doesn't spook at traffic, and drinks only water. Meet CORLEO. From that instant I'd keep the energy rising and speak as an engineer explorer who's seen the prototype move. Kawasaki Heavy Industries, drawing on its motorcycle, robotics and hydrogen energy divisions, created CORLEO as a concept for a new class of off-road personal mobility that looks like a bionic horse but behaves like a carefully tuned machine. Kawasaki designed and developed CORLEO by combining its vehicle dynamics know-how with robotics research and clean energy specialists to build a four-legged, rideable concept that preserves the joy of riding, while adding terrain adaptability and rider safety through sensors and AI. The concept was unveiled to the public at the Osaka Kansai Expo in April 2025 as part of Kawasaki's showcase of future mobility ideas. It's not an overnight invention. The design pulls together decades of Kawasaki motorcycle chassis and powertrain experience plus recent advances in quadruped robotics and hydrogen fuel cell technology, presented as a concept prototype rather than a production vehicle at the expo. The public reveal and demo footage in spring 2025 are how most people first saw the machine walking and cantering through display environments. At its core, CORLEO is a two-seat, four-legged rideable robot with features aimed at all-terrain travel. A hydrogen fuel system, a fuel cell that generates electricity from hydrogen, an electric hybrid drive architecture, AI for balance and terrain recognition, inward-facing knee joints and adaptive rubber hooves that absorb irregularities, a rider interface with head-up display and ride feedback, and night path projector lighting for low-light navigation. Kawasaki's materials and structural choices are engineered to combine lightness, strength and shock absorption so the machine can carry people off-road. Reports in Kawasaki's concept page emphasize the blend of motorcycle handling and quadruped stability. Structurally, CORLEO's body follows a bionic-inspired layout. A central chassis that houses the fuel energy system and rider cockpit, 4 independent leg units with multi-axis joints and suspension, and cloven, rubberized hooves designed to be slip-resistant and absorb surface shocks. Kawasaki describes the leg units as having front and rear leg assemblies that can move semi-independently to smooth shocks and keep the rider stable. The visible surfaces appear to mix high-strength alloys and composite panels where weight savings and impact resistance matter. While Kawasaki hasn't published a full materials bill of materials, the concept's visuals and press materials point to a mix of metals for load paths and actuators, and composites or engineered polymers for bodywork and impact zones. How it works. CORLEO uses a hydrogen energy source to power onboard electrics. Reports describe a hydrogen fuel cell system feeding electric drive for actuators and motors. A suite of sensors, cameras, lidar, inertial measurement units and pressure, force sensors in the leg joints and hooves, feed an AI control system that interprets terrain shape, slope, rider weight shifts and traction conditions. The control stack continuously adjusts joint torques and foot placement, and the rider steers, largely by shifting their center of gravity and using intuitive controls built into the saddle. Footrests. A heads-up display gives status such as hydrogen level and balance indicators. Actuators appear to be high-torque electric motors with robust suspension travel and adaptive damping to absorb impacts. Kawasaki has framed the system as balancing motorcycle instincts with quadruped stability via real-time AI adjustments. Price. Kawasaki has presented CORLEO as a concept prototype and has not released a retail price. Multiple outlets note it's a demo of future mobility and that production timing, if it happens, would be years away. Kawasaki has hinted at long-term visions toward 2050 for hydrogen mobility, but no showroom pricing has been announced. So any precise cost number today would be speculative. Expect concept to market engineering, safety certification and hydrogen infrastructure needs to push a first-generation unit into a high price bracket. Think tens of thousands to well into six figures depending on scale, but reiterate clearly, Kawasaki hasn't published official pricing. Country of origin. CORLEO is a Japanese concept from Kawasaki Heavy Industries, designed and unveiled in Japan at the Osaka Kansai Expo 2025. Emphasize Kawasaki's heritage in motorcycle and heavy industry to anchor the machine's provenance. Future benefits and applications. Frame CORLEO is more than a sci-fi toy. Kawasaki positions it as an exploration of sustainable, all-terrain personal mobility. Possible benefits include safe recreational off-road travel where traditional motorcycles struggle, assisting in search and rescue. Quadrupeds can traverse rubble and steep slopes, support in remote farming and forestry, and access for ecotourism in fragile landscapes with lower ground pressure than wheeled vehicles. If hydrogen becomes widely available, This kind of platform could also demonstrate low-emission off-road transport. The platform's sensing and actuation could translate into legged companions for logistics in difficult terrain too. Less known are hidden facts. Kawasaki's demo emphasizes a rider experience that's intentionally horse-like, not only in aesthetics but in control. The robot responds to subtle rider motion and weight shifts, which is different from joystick control typical of many robots. The cloven, rubber hooves are engineered specifically to adapt to grass, rock and rubble, and the leg architecture has independent front-back dynamics aimed at shock absorption during fast gaits. These are mechanical design details that differentiate CORLEO from straight-up industrial quadrupeds. Also, while hydrogen is highlighted publicly, some reporting indicates the concept blends a small internal combustion or range extender engine for power density in prototype form. Different outlets emphasize fuel cell versus hydrogen-derived genset depending on how Kawasaki described the demo, so the energy architecture may evolve as the concept matures. Possible future developments and impact. If Kawasaki or others move CORLEO from concept to product, we can expect incremental stages, improved sensors and redundancy for safety, standardized rider control interfaces, certification for recreational or utility classes, and tighter integration with hydrogen refueling networks. Long-term, legged rideable platforms could reshape access to mountainous tourism, change first responder logistics in disaster zones, and create new regulatory debates about off-road vehicle safety and right-of-way. Ethically and practically, there will be questions about environmental trade-offs. Hydrogen production methods matter, public acceptance, would riders trust a robot instead of an animal or a bike, and infrastructure. Be clear which claims are Kawasaki's stated goals and which are reasonable inferences based on current reporting.